Pasha Pyro, YN7. Thank you for tuning. The replay. We here with Big Board Pep for my peeps. About to go over a couple things with you. Just a couple plays, but they major. They major plays. Alright? So, let's get into it here. Been running. I know y'all know when you be busy. You know what I mean? I couldn't bring you a video yesterday, man. I just took the day off. I put out another video. You gotta hit the notification bell, subscribe, and you'll be notified whenever, wherever you are, when the video drops. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not one of them guys. It's like, I'm here every 7 p.m. I might not be here at 7 p.m. You know? So I'm not gonna misquote you on that. So make sure you subscribe, make sure you hit the notification bell. And I had to sleep, you know. I spent a lot of years going with like days with little to no sleep, and people be telling you, you gotta cut that out, it's bad for your health, and you be like, no, I'm Superman, I'll sleep when I die, you know, because my philosophy was, you know, if you sleep 8 hours a day and you live to be 90 years old, do you realize that you have slept at that time for 30 years? You spent 30 years asleep. So by shaving some time off sleeping, you know, I was like, what could you do with an extra 5 or 10 years of life? You know? And you run hard like that. And it wasn't until I had got Bell's palsy like a few years ago that made, you know, sometimes you'll see my face look a little crazy. That's why, because it kind of never really, I guess, goes away completely or heals 100% or whatever. So half my face stopped working, and I was like, you know what? That's the closest I'm gonna get to a nervous breakdown. Period. You see what I'm saying? I still push myself, but you gotta know your limits. You know what I mean? Get some rest sometimes. It'll be there tomorrow. All right, so let's get into this work. Let's get into this play, major plays. Okay, the first one up is Ringcentral. All right. Now, I caught this one visually. See, I like to observe. I like to watch. I like to see how things operate because I'm looking for the truth of it. You see what I'm saying? And I caught this one like towards the end of November. It was on a decline, but it had a really good history. Like, if you see that green section, like, it was bouncing up and down in that green section since like April, since the recovery of March. You know, March everything dropped. This one came back up in April, and it's been bouncing up and down in here. Now it's got a 5.6% volatility factor, so it's really, really tight, really good. You know what I mean? So then it went up, like coming in towards December. It dropped again, and then it went up. And I was like, okay, you know what? When it went to come back down, it didn't come back down at like as steep of an angle, and it didn't go as deep, right? So I was like, you know what? Let's make this play. So we get in, and you know me, I like to get out when it starts decreasing. So I was riding, and I get out, and I hop back in, grab a few bucks, get out. You see what I'm saying? So it's been on a climb. It had a little rough day. Common slip and fall on your bad day. Check out the song, get used to it. I really put this out there so that you can get used to it. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of things in life that people are trying to share with you so you can get used to, that you may not even be interested in right now, but in the near future in your life, you'd be surprised when you look back and say, wow, those 5 people I remember over the course of the last 10 years helped me down this path before I even knew this is where I was going. Respect. So I hopped out, and now I've been back in. So let me give you the rundown. The P.E.P closed at 387.63, right? It was up $150 since November 10th. Today is only December 17th. So we're going to call that 40 days. All right. These are for the people asking what stock should I get in December, when the proper question should be, how do I determine which stock is good for me to buy at a certain time? That should be the question, but I'm not going to judge you, right? So for those that are asking what stocks are good for December, well, here's your 40-day, here's your Noah's Ark stocks, all right? So up 50% in the last 3 months. So it done doubled in the last 3 months. All right. And this could go, nothing's guaranteed. So this could easily start to fall out the sky mañana. ¿Tú sabes? So with that being said, it could see another $100 a share before New Year's. Just look at the angle. If it keeps going and narrowing and bouncing, but nothing's guaranteed, right? So like I said, it's been in the green area since April. It broke into the blue to start December with an overall volatility, like I said, it's 5.6%. And they're in the cloud-based communications and collaboration solutions. So let's take a look at what they're talking about, right? So they got a really cool website. I really like it considering the way it operates and stuff. It's pretty cool. So you can come down and you can check all the stuff you want, resources, work together from anywhere. It's not, you're familiar with this idea, right? So they said 400,000 plus companies, they said love them. You see some names there, the Detroit Pistons, Columbia University, right? I guess that's the Oakland Athletics. Can you tell I don't have a lot of time for sports right now. But when this all blows up, I might go to some more games. Okay, so you got video and team messaging, business phone systems, contact centers, etc., right? But here's what I wanted to get to for you guys. So the news from the 15th was Ringcentral launches free smart video meetings, right? GLIP by Ringcentral. Now, they were founded back in 1999, so that's good. They've been around for over 20 years. Kind of sounds like they're stable, right? They got over 2,350 employees. You want to look at how many employees they got, because not that they couldn't fall out the sky tomorrow, but it kind of gives you an idea of the stability of the company. Like if they only got 10 employees, then you maybe have more reason to question it than if they got 2,500 they've been carrying for a while. They've been doing good for some time, right? So check that out, and they're doing numbers where they serve over 100 countries, right? So that's pretty good. So Ringcentral is a leading provider of global enterprise cloud communications, collaboration, and contact center solutions. More flexible and cost-effective than legacy on-premises systems, the Ringcentral platform empowers employees to work better together from any location, on any device, and via any mode to serve customers, improving business efficiency and customer satisfaction. Businesses are all about efficiency. That's the Virgo in them. And we want to make the customers happy too. But be your own customer first. All right. So the company provides unified voice, video meetings, team messaging, digital customer engagement, and integrated contact center solutions for enterprises globally. Now, I know you're familiar with this. I know you're thinking about Zoom. I know you're thinking Microsoft Teams, etc., right? That's all great because they all can get a piece of the pie. So it's got some earnings stuff here, some slides, etc., right? And then this was that news release. This was basically like a similar news release about it. But then you have this, right? So they in the news a lot. So from today, actually, Unified Office by Ringcentral deployed by Atos to 30,000 employees across 20 countries. Leading Unified Communication as a Service, UCaaS, platform enables Atos' professionals to communicate, collaborate, and be productive from anywhere. Right? And you got the longer clip headline there. A leading provider, global enterprise cloud communications, collaboration, and contact center solutions today announced that Atos SE, whatever CAC 40 is, ATO, a global leader in digital transformation, is deploying. Now they're a global leader in digital transformation, and they're deploying Unified Office by Ringcentral over 30,000 workers in 20 countries. So you already know what that's going to mean with a trickle down effect. Like if they're got 30,000 workers in 20 countries and using this, their customers are going to be aware of this. And if they weren't already customers, then they're going to probably become customers of Ringcentral, et cetera, et cetera. All right. So check that out. Look into what they got here. Look, Unified Office by Ringcentral will be integrated by direct routing into Atos, Microsoft Teams digital workplace environment, providing a seamless single pane of glass for communication both internally and externally. Right? Unify Office by Ringcentral integrated with Microsoft Teams will allow them to get work done from anywhere. Okay, so you get the drift with that. They could be at 480 by the end of the year. They closed at 387.63 today. I mean, this is one of those stocks for the new people, or for the people that never thought about it like this. This could be one of those stocks where you get, 5 of, and you see here in the middle, like it did $18 a share today. So when you got a stock that's 5%, and it's a $100 stock and it gives you $5 back, or if you got, a $20 stock and it gives you 5% and give you $1 back. I mean, here you're getting 18, right? So it's an expensive stock, but if you have 5 of these, then you're making $100 a day off of one stock. So at $100 a day, if 5 of these, let's say roughly $400 right now, that would be $2,000. Not to say it's gonna do this exact amount every day, but if it did, you would only need to hold the stock 20 days before it paid for itself. It's free money. Pasha Paro, YNet 7, Big Boy P.E.P. Appreciate all donations coming into the Cash App $ YNet 7. I do a lot of research to make sure that you can feel confident about this. So let's get to the next one. So this one is an alternative for you for the Zoom and all that stuff. Microsoft, so. And this one here is its ticker sign is DDD, and it's 3D Systems. I'm going to tell you why I like this. First off, right off the bat, they got a program that you see there, took the pictures from, they're involved with out of Durham, North Carolina. Now, I like to support local when I can, when at all possible, right? So this company is actually in Rock Hill, South Carolina. And you may or may not know, I'm repping Charlotte. So that's really like right down the street. Now, the pictures are from a program called Youth Quest Foundation. And if you want more information about them, they're out of Durham, and their phone number is 919-942-1625. Give them a call, find out what they're all about, and see how, because this is amazing that these kids are, that these young people are able to go and experience this technology and or decide to, if it's something they want to get into or just being exposed to it. The only thing that separates people is experience and exposure. So any program that's doing stuff like this, you got to want to support that, right? So let's talk about this play here. The P.E.P closed today at $11.55. So I gave you one that was expensive, or and that's all perspective. I seen a stock a few weeks ago that was $23,000 a share, right? So it's all relative. But for what I like to play in, I'm growing and evolving too in my strategies. So a month ago, I was telling you I don't like 3-digit stocks, which I didn't. Today, I'm telling you I found a way to utilize them, and just make sure you have your safety on, your some sort of stop loss set up as part of your strategy when you make these purchases. Because like I said, it could fall out the sky tomorrow. I forgot to do you be talking to people or something happens, you forget to do it, you get distracted, you come back, you realize you didn't set it, and boom, it'll happen to be you're down $200 on a stock because you didn't set the stop loss. And it teaches you stuff. It teaches you discipline, right? You gotta enjoy the experience. Okay, so this P.E.P closed at $11.55, almost doubled since its last earnings, which is the same pretty much for not the doubling factor, but the run up has happened since earnings, which was at the end of November for both of these outfits. So this one had its earnings, and in the last 35 days, again, so this is the 40-day Noah's Ark stock as well for the end of the month for December going into 2020. It's up 60% for the 1 month, 117% for the last 3 months. At this rate, it could see $16 by end of month / end of year. And this industry is going to change manufacturing completely. Pasha Pyro said it. Because you gotta look at what they're doing, right? So here's some information on that Youth Quest right here. They're in Durham, and this is the 3D Systems website. Man, look at that. Look at this. Like, they are able to print this off a printer right now. Like, right here where it says discover how additive manufacturing solves complex engineering problems. See, let me see what they say here before I say it. Maybe it's saying it down here. Opportunities to produce optimized fluid dynamics parts with additive manufacturing are introducing better solutions for heat exchangers, propulsion systems, manifolds, microfluidics, devices, and more. So basically, right, if you're familiar with manufacturing or production or just making stuff, think about woodworking, right? A carving, like I don't care if you're carving a bowl, carving a bird out of a piece of wood, whatever. You got a block and you're carving out and taking away material to form, and what's left is the form of the detail, right? It's what's left. That's called I'm gonna say subtractive. I think it's subtractive or something like that. They got another word for subtractive, but basically it's to take away, subtract, right? And that's why they're calling this additive manufacturing. So when you carve that bowl out, you scrape out all that material, you can only do so much. Think about if that was a block of aluminum or a block of steel, right? You're kind of limited by what you can produce based on your manufacturing process, right? So by what they mean by additive is they're taking and like sprinkling, for lack of a better description, sprinkling the atoms like right where they want them from the ground up. Like, you can build an engine block like this now. Like you know what I mean? Like for the mechanics and motorheads out there, like they can actually build the block of your engine from nothing by just putting atoms together in a 3D printer. Like that's where the technology is at right now, right? So it allows you to really take manufacturing to a totally new level. Okay. Let me show you some stuff on here. So again, manufacturing legacy parts quickly and cost effectively. So this right here, if you got an old car, right? You know how like right now or years prior to now, especially, they were like, you know, the concern with having an older car is that it was hard to find parts for it. Well, with this type of technology, what it introduces the opportunity for is to say it doesn't matter anymore, because all they need is the drawing, and now they could print you out a part, whatever part it is, maybe even better than OEM quality, out of a 3D printer. Like you could just, you know what I mean? Like it's like going to Office Max now to get a car part. I mean, that's the capabilities and stuff you're looking at with this type of technology. And so let's see what else they got on here. They got some other stuff, this, that, and the other. But it's time to take a break. Benefit. Okay, webinars, drive innovation with reverse engineering. You get the idea of that. So look at this. It's food grade stuff. Nylon. Like they got a bunch of different materials they can use, including metals. Look, aluminum filled nylon. And this is one way they do it. They have a few different styles they have access to. You see over here on the right. I mean, this is the future. This is what the Jetsons had in their home. We gonna have one of these in our house in a little bit once the technology get cheaper. You know what I mean? You're gonna be able to 3D print clothes and dishes and whatever else you want, right? All right, so let me show you this one, because this one's a little bit more different technology. So this could be your part for your 1932 four-wheel motion machine that you can't get a part for anymore. And then they just load it into the machine. It scans it. It can make 100 of them for you if you wanted to. And then you hit the print button, like at home when you're printing out your pay stubs. All right, so you get the idea. Check that out when you got more time. It's really cool. So they got healthcare solutions, metal solutions, all kinds of stuff here, right? And even like one of the people that use them is like aviation, right? So they be making some really cool parts. Now, 30 years, they invented, like the owner of this company like invented stereo lithography or something like that. Like, he started the company in 86 and he invented this new process in 86. So these guys have been ahead of their time for a while. So more than 30 years ago, 3D Systems brought the innovation of 3D printing. So they've been doing it for 30 years, right? In some way, shape, or form to the manufacturing industry, right? It empowers manufacturers to create products and business models never before possible through transform workflows. All right, so you get the idea there. So why invest in this company? I mean, there are 130 plus 3D printing materials available, so they can probably print with everything but wood. You know what I'm saying? So they have over 1,000 patents issued in the last decade. So that means they they got money locked in the bag, because patent, you know what a patent means. So they could sell the patent, they could hold the patent. The patent means they the only ones that can do it, and or you got at least the technology or ability from it. Whatever this is, aligners printed daily, I didn't look that up, but 400,000 of anything a day, you're doing good. 200 million production parts produced by their customers in 2019 alone. So back in November, actually a month ago to the day, 3D System receives FDA clearance for Vantage ankle PSI, expands VSP surgical planning applications and partnerships with Exactech, right? So they're able to produce in medical, like we said. Here goes some things about something there. And then they got this announcement on the 10th about environmental, this, that, and the other. Now, here's where I thought, was pretty interesting. Let me go to this for you. Hold up, we must. So I'm not sure if I blow this up if you'll still see it all. So let me keep it like this. So they got this guy. He comes in and says, you know what, we're cutting costs. We're gonna do this right. We're gonna basically do a little restructuring to make sure that we're in the money for the long term, right? So that makes sense. So he came in, and here we go. So strategic purpose, you know what I mean? They reorganized and they're restructuring, and they're going to divest in what they don't need, basically, and invest in what they need. So their healthcare solutions, this is where I was getting at. And oh, there you go. That's why it looks like that. So healthcare solutions was dental, medical devices, simulations, as you can see on the computer with the software, and surgical planning, right? Now look at the industrial solutions. Aerospace and defense, always big money there. Transportation and motorsports, big money there. Investment castings, so I think that's referring to, like, you know, when a company makes a lot of something, they might get like a cast made so they can produce that part. Jewelry, you already know what that is. Consumer durables and electronics, right? So full service solution provider, got the software, the hardware, material, and the global reach and the production, right? Now look at this part here. This is what I was wanting to show you. This is a bracket. It's a bracket from an aerospace, something to do with aerospace. So aviation, whether that's sky, space, who knows. But this basically is probably something it would be super difficult to produce and or way more expensive if you try to chisel that out, no matter how perfected your CNC skills are. So they can print this from nothing. And as you can see here, it says, well, you may not be able to see, but it says better stiffness to weight ratio and production in 4 to 5 weeks versus 10 weeks. And the bracket itself is 25% lighter. See, I should have grabbed the detail on this car for you, but they got a car that's completely designed by AI, right? And when the AI designs it, it's not thinking like a human. it's thinking about just total max efficiency, max everything, and you wind up with like a A-pillar frame for your suspension or whatever it's called, that looks something like that too. It's crazy. Like, who would have thought of that by themselves? You know what I mean? And then they 3D print it because you can't make it any other way. So then the AI designs this stuff, or look at this potential in the future. Not to say this is how they do it there, but the AI designs this crazy design, so crazy but so perfect, but it's so crazy that we can't produce it naturally like in our traditional way. So we got to 3D print it. It's the only way you can make it. But you get a part, like it says here, that's 25% lighter, better stiffness to weight ratio, and you can get it in 4 to 5 weeks instead of 10 weeks. That's huge. That's huge. That's huge. You can make this stuff. Look at it on the right there. Assembly consolidation, right? These are air ducts. And it's saying reduce production costs, no tooling, reduce testing costs, reduce failure modes, and increase in-part efficiency. Like, part of when you set up production, a huge chunk of that money is just changing the tools so that you can be able to make the stuff do, make it on the machines. So the fact that you don't need a tool is just going to come in and print it out, like, that saves tons of money, makes everybody more happy. You get stuff done a lot quicker. And you can see over there on the left, they got some dental aligners. Oh, that must have been the aligner. So they're making 400,000 of these mouthpieces for the dental world, right? Okay, cool. So look at this expected growth. Now, everything's, the only thing that's true is right now. So, but what they're saying is, over the next 5 years, the market is expected to grow 24% compound average growth rate, reaching $35 billion by 2024. That's not like Neo and all that, where we're talking 2030 with electric cars and the government. $35 billion by 3 years from now, because we're already ready to go into 2021. That's the expectation. Okay. So high focus to introduce new designs and business models. I know I'm taking a good bit of time with this because this is the future. I need you to understand why. Because like I always say, and I've been saying it more recently, you got to know why you're getting into a stock. Even if you're playing it for the ups and hopping out, you got to know why you're expecting it to go up. You know what I mean? You got to know what you're getting into. And then other little things like the youth quest, maybe an added bonus as to why you support them. See what I'm saying? So anyway, that's the growth curve. It's ridiculous. Check the website. Really, 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 really cool opportunity here. Even at that, that's like another 50% on top of that if it hits $16. So I'm gonna ride this up the escalator, and if this is for entertainment purposes only. I'm not a professional. This is not what I do for a living. I'm just having fun with the opportunities, and I'm sharing my logbook, some notes from my log, some plays from my playbook with you, and I hope you enjoy that. So this Pasha Pyro, Big Board Pep. Thank you for tuning. The replay.